Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Million Dollar Media. This is a pretty sad episode, not gonna lie. Um, I just found out like a couple minutes ago that Akira Toriyama has passed away. Um, yeah, for those who don't know, he was a very popular manga creator. He was an artist as well, right? Writer,
Yep.
artist. Yeah. Um, m Mostly known for creating Dragon Ball. And yeah, um, it's a big bummer because I grew up on Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball means a lot to me. Like it's that show that kind of inspired like a whole generation to it was the one show that actually showed like hard work can actually like get you somewhere and if you work hard enough you can conquer these unbelievable odds. And yeah, and, like I don't know. It's just a bummer because it's just such a it's so rooted in my like DNA as a person, my love for Dragon Ball. Like it was my gateway into anime, really. So yeah, I mean, I got some other people here who um, wanted to talk about, or at least give memorial to Akira Toriyama. Um, any of you want to go first? Just introduce yourself.
Uh, I'll go first. Name's Adrian. Um, Dragon Ball in general, like Max said, was the gateway to a lot of people watching animes, including myself. Funny thing is, and how I got into Dragon Ball was I didn't even watch the anime first. I played the video game of Dragon Ball before I even started watching. It was on my uncle's PS2. He got me Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 1 and 2, and Super Dragon Ball was what the other game was called, and I would just play those constantly, and that was my introduction to Dragon Ball. And then I started when he as he started watching, I was renting DVDs from the library as he watched Dragon Ball, and I never watched it in order. But then as I got older, and then I proceeded to watch them somewhat in order, and technically I never finished watching Dragon Ball all the way through. Which is the funny thing. I just played the video games, but the impact, regardless of Dragon Ball in my life, is unexplainable. It's just a major part of just my life and a bunch of other people's. I just can't explain it.
Okay. I'm Yan, and I started off with the animes first, and then the video games. I specifically have memories of having my cousin like set up his stuff on his computer so I could watch some episodes, and then we'd play the same video games you played, Adrian, like the Budokai Dragon Ball Z games, like on the PS2, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
All right, so what Dragon Ball meant for me, Dragon Ball was one of the first few animes that I ever got into, and will probably be one of my favorites for God knows how long, because Dragon Ball has been a part of my life ever since I was a kid. In movies, in drawings, in games, it was Dragon Ball was everywhere around me, and what it meant to me was just like a way to connect with people, even though it was an anime, because people didn't like to honestly agree with anime. People just didn't like saying that they liked anime just growing up.
Yeah.
And but Dragon Ball was one of the few where people were like, "All right, I'll let it slide. I'll say that I like this anime,
Hmm.
whether it's just something that's just popular or just something that you love." And I honestly loved Dragon Ball, and I think it became even more so of a love for me was when I started to watch it myself, and I went back and watched the old Dragon Ball from from the beginnings of original Dragon Ball to where we are now in Dragon Ball Super, and even in the manga with the the stuff to hopefully come out sooner rather than later. Um, but a key moment in Dragon Ball for me that will always hold dear to my heart was honestly seeing Gohan get the spotlight and finally turn Super Saiyan 2 against Cell in the Cell Saga.
That was my
I
moment as
know
well.
yeah, a lot of people, I know a lot of people were either Frieza Saga or Buu Saga with the transformation, the first Super Saiyan transformation, or the elongating and exciting release of Super Saiyan 3. I know, so two Super Saiyan 2 is kind of the in between, but just seeing Gohan get the love and respect that he deserved was so righteous for me. And honestly, just seeing Gohan with that different look to his in his eyes and just the hair, it was
Mhm.
just an amazing combo. And just to see someone so kind-hearted and so warm snap on you like a twig, it was just it was so exhilarating when I first saw it on TV. And to lose someone who gave me that, that's that's very hard to that's very hard to grasp
Mhm.
because I unfortunately heard the news earlier today and I was in honestly disarray. I did not have the words to speak because granted it didn't granted not a lot of people watch anime compared to a bunch of other stuff that you see on television or in movie theaters. So it doesn't make I mean, I make this comparison, but I feel like losing Akira was like in comparison the anime version of losing Stan Lee.
I was just
It's
about to
just
say, like, yeah, like,
I feel like granted they're totally different people from totally different worlds
hmm
and have done different things for different people and
hmm
similar people alike,
hmm
like myself included, for example.
hmm
But just this is such a big loss for the anime world and
hmm
something that I feel like that'll be something that we'll think will not ever that we'll lose sleep on for a little while, but somehow we'll find a way to pick ourselves back up and keep fighting like Goku does and how Akira
hmm
Toriyama makes him do.
hmm Well, yeah. For me, I think I got into it through reruns, or at least the Dragon Ball Z Kai era of like Dragon Ball, where it was just like a rerun slash re-edit of the original show on Nicktoons, at least for me. And
Mm.
like, yeah, I remember watching, like, I remember the commercials and being like, what the hell is this? Or like, just like, what is this? Like, a guy shoots a giant brick with his hands. And I was like, okay, that looks cool, but there's this green guy. I just didn't understand it. But I watched the Saiyan arc when Vegeta and oh my god, Nappa.
Nappa.
Oh my god, I can't believe I almost forgot about Nappa. But when they invaded Earth, I I just remember like as a kid being like, oh my god, this is really cool because like it showed like characters getting beat the hell up and like punches actually hurt because like in all the other shows that we watched, it was like Tom and Jerry and stuff. Like everybody was made out of rubber, but this actually felt like no, people could get hurt and possibly die, and them overcoming these odds still was just so cool for me as a kid because I was just like it was just so different. No one ever like there was no like cartoon in general like that on TV at that time. Um, I know it's not a cartoon, but you know what I mean. Just like as a kid, you didn't know what cartoon and anime were. At least I didn't. Um, but yeah, like I don't know, like just a lot of like I just the thing that sticks out to me about Dragon Ball and just the overall like impact it has had on so many people, like, is just astounding to me. And the thing that always makes me like think, oh, this has such a wide appeal is when we went to go see the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
Yeah.
In the back of the theater were these huge bodybuilder bros wearing like the orange gi and everything like that, getting
Yeah.
hyped during the movie. And it just made me think like, oh yeah, this is just like a thing for like everyone. Like anyone
It's
can enjoy
connected.
this. Yeah. Like I mean, we became friends, Adrian, because like
Yeah.
we both really like Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Like I remember back then, it was always like the underground chatter of like Super Saiyan 5 and Trunks going Super Saiyan
Oh my
3.
god, Super Saiyan 5, 100, all these theories back in the day.
Uh-huh. Right before Super, because everybody was just like, "What's the next thing?"
Yeah, like so it was like around like the time GT was coming out, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why like the 5 always looked like a furry. It was just a
Mm-hmm.
white fur. Because the 4 already came out around that time, so people were just speculating, oh, this is the next thing. This is the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. Like
Yeah.
it was like clickbait before clickbait, bro.
Yeah, that was honestly how we like. I think obviously we knew each other before we started talking about Dragon Ball, but
Yeah, but that was the moment I was like,
it was
whoa.
Dragon Ball that first had us click together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I feel
You and
like
your
yeah,
imperfect self.
in my first form self will impression. Yeah, that's gotten me a long way. And yeah, it's still not a moment goes by if I think about it. It makes me laugh. It,
Mm-hmm.
like that's just how much Dragon Ball has impacted my life to where even watching others who imitate Dragon Ball
Mm-hmm.
just make my day that much better.
Mm-hmm. I know he's worked on like other things as well. Like I just read an article about how he wrote like a very popular shonen called Doctor Slumped,
Yeah, we had
which
that, like Aurelie, that
mm-hmm,
character, like all those stuff, and then I think he was writing another manga. He
mm-hmm,
started either this year or last year.
mm-hmm,
He was writing another one as well.
yeah.
And then in addition to that stuff, he also did like art designs for Dragon Quest,
Mm. I also
those
think he
video games.
did. Didn't he also do designs for like Chrono Trigger?
Yes, he did.
I was gonna say like the main character from Chrono Trigger kind of looks like it. Definitely looks like his style.
Yeah, he had such a distinct style. You knew when
Yeah,
he was in.
you can always tell Akira Toriyama's art style in anything he's ever made.
It's it's just
Mm-hmm.
so much that Akira has done. Not even with himself being just involved, just setting the groundwork,
Mm-hmm.
you know. It's just it's just it's just crazy how one person could just bring a community like that together.
Mm-hmm.
Just out of just out of making people fight day after day on anime.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it takes, I guess, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it was. I feel like it's one of those shows that's like, yes, the lore is very. It can be very weird and complicated and contradictory, but at the end of the day, what it's mostly about is just like people overcoming obstacles, and that is
Yeah.
just something that like everybody has to deal with.
Yeah. Just
And
finding that next step.
mm-hmm, like I don't know. I mean, it's just it's just sad. I know a lot of people and who love Dragon Ball, especially in this little community that we here have set up, and myself, like again, like it helped me get through a lot of moments growing up, like bullying and uh, just the lowest of moments, just the idea of just like grit your teeth and bear it kind of thing, just kind of move through it, and
Yeah, it's just
just so many moments of that, and like I can really thank Dragon Ball for that. Like I dressed up as Vegeta and Trunks growing up.
No, yeah.
I had the little, I had the widow's peak and everything.
It's it's
No,
funny you
it's
bring that up, Max, because I remember like I think third grade. I forget like what event it was at school for us. My uncle just gelled my hair straight up, so it was spiky, so it was like Goku.
Nice.
that's great. I love that.
Yeah, he did that because that's when I got into Dragon Ball. He did that with me. I'm like, oh my gosh. Now looking back, I'm like, man, I missed that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I didn't get into Dragon Ball. I I was when I was a kid, I kind of loved it through others. Just
Hmm.
watching them love it made me love it.
Interesting.
So I didn't branch out on my own anime wise until like end of middle school, beginning of high school. So I
Huh.
was a little late to the party in that sense. So I wasn't walking around in geese and stuff and gelling my hair, lack thereof. Um, but I had the actual Widow's Peak, so I felt a little resonated with Vegeta for a while. But no, yeah, I definitely brought Dragon Ball with me wherever I went,
Hmm.
and kind of used that mentality
Hmm.
through many things, like through like working out, through with swimming especially, just
Oh yeah.
whatever, just the mental space, just like to keep going, to keep fighting, to get to that next
Hmm.
level. What doesn't kill you make you stronger. Just
Yeah.
having that mentality was able to get me to where I was today,
Hmm.
Such a big.
partially, and with along with many other things, but that got me a good amount of the way.
Hmm.
It's funny you say that because I was at the gym today and a former Marine dude complimented me because like my traps and my biceps were bulging.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's
No,
always
yeah. I
good.
mean, I don't know. If I got I need a wig, but I feel like I could pull off a good oob.
Real. Like one of
No,
the things
yeah.
I also like about like Akira Toriyama as like a creator is like he can see like when things are like obviously bad and like goes back and fixes them.
Hmm.
Like Broly's backstory.
Oh my
They
god, yeah.
Yeah.
like the
Yes.
idea that he was like I think he drew the character first and then he just let it go. He's like, all right, you can do whatever you want with him. And then they made that backstory, and he was just like,
Why did
no,
they act that?
what is that?
They cried a lot
Yeah.
A lot.
for like 3 hours.
No,
But that's so
exactly.
dumb. But he's so cool.
But that's so dumb. No, yeah. I'm such a big fan of the transition that Broly has made from Z to Super,
Oh, me too.
and I love him so much, and I love his story.
Yeah, Broly
I
became like
believe that,
yeah.
yeah, I believe that the Broly movie is probably, if not the best Dragon Ball movie that Dragon Ball has ever produced.
I
That might
It's
be a bold
strong.
statement, but I
That.
believe it is at least up there.
Yeah, I would say so.
I'm trying to think
Yeah.
of like the other ones, and I'm like, oh yeah, I mean, it's got the moments that I
Huge,
remember. I still like
definitely.
I still like Battle of Gods.
Oh
Oh yeah,
no, Battle of Gods is definitely up there too. I'm
Like,
not. That's actually. I'm glad you said that because Battle of Gods was probably my favorite movie personally.
hmm.
Um, just for the one scene of
oh my god.
freaking
Yes.
Sean Schemmel praise
Oh my God, yeah.
like praise the like I know people love and can talk all day about his his role and what he did for Super Saiyan 3,
Hmm.
but no, Battle of Gods, that one scene,
I think I
if
know what
you
you're
know,
talking
you
about.
know.
Yeah, the
If
when
Yeah.
he's
yeah,
like when
exactly.
like
Play
the
the clip.
I will not let you destroy my world!
that scene alone is my example of dub can be good too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a
That's
lot. Like Dragon Ball in itself is just a great dub anime.
Yeah. Just I
oh
keep
yeah.
thinking like it's
No,
kind
you're
of
fine.
hard to wrap up a video on like an entire man's life who impacted
Yeah,
us in
it's
such
like
a way.
where do you end? You know?
Yeah, all I could say is like to any of his like friends and family, I'm sorry for your loss. Um, to all of our fellow like members of the Dragon Ball community, like
You're
um,
not alone.
you're not alone. We're all
We
mourning.
will be okay.
The
We'll be
same.
Oh
okay.
yeah, we'll be okay. Like I don't think Dragon Ball's
No
gonna
more.
stop.
No.
Almost definitely not.
Yeah, just think
As
about
long
it.
as
Like
you keep his memory alive, it will never die.
he's up in heaven, chilling out with King Kai.
Right. King Kai's keeping him some company.
Yeah, yeah, he's yeah. I just it's gonna be like yeah, it's just really interesting because like yeah, that's all I really got to say. If anybody like think it's a good time to wrap the video up, so I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say my
Oh,
entire spiel, but like give this video a like, share it with other fans of
Just
Dragon
share.
Ball. Just share it.
Share
Subscribe if you
Dragon.
want, but like yeah, like that's all I got to say. So
yeah.
you guys want to like say your names before we head out?
I was okay. I guess I'll go first. I was waiting for someone else to say theirs, but Nile. I'm Nile.
Mhm.
And Adrian.
Yan.
And I've been and I'm Max Kellerholes. Thank you for watching and rest in peace, Akira Toriyama.